Welcome back to another video, guys. We are almost at open season for Murray Cod, so I thought we'd jump in the shed today and have a quick look at my favourite lure for Murray Cod. The lure that I've used the most over the last 2 seasons, and that is the DRT Jakko. And if you keep watching this video, I'm actually going to give this one away. The details will be somewhere throughout here, so keep watching the video, get the details, and in a week's time, I'm going to give this Jakko away. Oh, Jesus! Perfectly in that bottom treble. The Jakko's got another victim. Setting him straight back. How did that look? Good fish. He had that Jakko right down. Just popped out there. So as you can see there, very effective lure. In fact, last cod season, the only topwater lure I threw was the DRT Jakko. Threw it absolutely exclusively. Didn't fish another wake bait, didn't fish another paddler. This lure, if you have been following my stuff over the last few years, you would notice that I have fished it a lot, and I love all the DRT baits, especially the Jakko. And what I love so much about it is obviously it works so well. It's a great size. The Jakko total length comes in at 8.2 inches. So it is a big lure, but as a lot of you would know, topwater lures, they can be a lot bigger for those smaller fish to hit them, more so than, say, a swim bait that's a subsurface. You can fish there. I've caught 20 centimetre Murray cod on these, right up to that metre size. So it's a great all-round bait. A topwater can be any size, as I said, but I find that 8 to 10 inch really good, and these are 8.2. So really versatile for all sizes of cod. They weigh 3 ounces, so about that 85 gram mark, which again is a great all-round size for casting. You don't need to go a specific swim bait rod for that size. You can get away with using just a medium heavy or heavy bait cast rod and cast these really well, which really works well for me in summer when I'm down the rivers, and winter, across all the seasons. In summer, I like to take a smaller stick, a lighter stick, because I'm predominantly fishing smaller baits in that summertime, chasing numbers over the bigger fish, quantity over quality. Whereas as we transition into that autumn and winter period, I'm predominantly throwing really big baits where I'm trying to chase that one big fish, where I'm more chasing that quality over the quantity. The good thing about the bait being that 3 ounces is it doesn't matter what stick I take, reel, rod combo, I'm still going to be able to cast and fish this effectively. So it's an all-season bait for me, and yeah, it just works really well. It's something that a lot of fish haven't seen yet. I've been using these for a few years. There's obviously people that have fished them, but as it's hard to get, and has been a lot harder to get bait over the years and before the last few years, cod haven't seen it, and it is unique. It's a super buoyant wake bait. A lot of our wake baits, the wooden handmade stuff that we use over here, and also the ABS plastic stuff, a lot of our wake baits will often dive just a little bit. You'll notice it when you're fishing them on the extreme end of the cast. They'll actually want to dive a bit, and as they get closer to the stick, they'll start to come back up to the surface. And a lot of the time when I'm fishing those type of wake baits, I actually want a high stick it to keep that thing right on the surface. It can be beneficial and detrimental in ways, but because this is a wake bait, but it's super buoyant, it's just that little bit different. It's that point of difference to all the other wake baits. It fishes like a paddler. A paddler will always be on the surface, on the very extreme of the surface, and that's what this does, but it's in a wake bait form, so it's a different action. The other cool thing is you can get it in a silent or in a rattle. So this is a queen colour here, and if I hold those hooks, you can't hear anything. So that's got no rattle in. Where this one that I'm going to give away is a rattle in. So if I shake that, it's ball bearings in there, and you can quite clearly hear it. So that's really handy. This is the 256 colour. This one here, I'll give you a bit of a close-up of some of the teeth marks and that. That's the one I've been fishing mainly the last few years, so it's caught me a lot of fish, and that is a rattle version. Now, in the summer, when the fish are more active, I like to fish the rattle. It just helps them locate the lure. But then when we transition into those bigger fish times, you know, autumn, winter, I like to go the silent, just to be that little bit subtle. And I find that that silent version can draw a bigger fish. It's just not as gimmicky, for lack of a better term, as the rattle. But, you know, when those fish are keyed in and you're chasing those number smaller fish, a rattle will really help them find the lure and come up and eat it. The other thing is, on your water clarity, if it's super crystal clear, then it can be beneficial to go the silent version. Whereas if it is a dirty system, fish these a lot of times in the lower systems that I fish where it's really murky water, and definitely that rattle will definitely help the fish locate it. Some teeth marks up there. It's a pretty wide bait, the Jakko, so it's hard for the cod to get their mouths fully around it, especially those smaller fish, but this one's done some work. I reckon I probably caught, I don't know, 30 or 40 Murray cod just on this Jakko alone. That is the benefit of a surface lure. You basically don't lose them, so whenever I go out in the river, I take 2 Jakkos with me, just in case I put one in a tree or, heaven forbid, I get snapped off. But yeah, I've never lost one so far, so touch wood, I don't. But yeah, that's my 256 I use all the time, and have a go at some of the scars on it. Don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but it's got some, yeah, it's done some work, this bad boy, and it's going to continue to. Now, to buy a Jakko in Australia, Bait Religion is the distributor, and there is some on the site at the moment, I believe. If you want to modify your Jakko or your lose bib or tail, you can. Now, the bib, if that's going to focus, is actually out of a Clash 9. So it's the wide lip for a Clash 9. That's it there. So wide lip Clash 9 is what the Jakko uses as a bib. So if you break one or you lose one on a fish, it doesn't happen very often, but it can, and it would pay to have a pack of spare bibs just in case. K9 wide lip. To take them in and out, you just want to grab the lip and go side to side and just wiggle it out, and it comes out pretty easy if you do that. Don't just try and pull it directly out, otherwise you can break the bib, and I did that the very first time I got a tiny Clash. So that's that. Now, it uses the K9 bib, but with the tail, it's actually a tiny Clash V-tail. Now, I've got 2 here as an example, 2 brand new queens, and one's a non-rattle, one is a rattle. So the rattle on the right here, which is your left, has an up tail, whereas the non-rattle has a down tail, and that's how they will come when they're new. So as a new product, down tails mean silent, up tails mean they have a rattle. And if you can have a look here, that is just what I call an up tail, but it's basically, all it is just a standard V-tail for a tiny Clash. And then that one there is a down tail. Really bugger all difference. I just reckon the down tail looks a bit cooler, so often I'll get down tails and put the down tails in my rattle versions. But yeah, it's much of a muchness. They don't really serve a purpose. If you do lose that tail, you should never really lose a tail, but if you do, you can put a tiny Clash, just normal tiny Clash tail in, and it actually looks kind of cool. You can fish them like that. You can fish them up, wriggle that out, and fish it down as well. Doesn't affect the action at all, really, like it does with the K9 and tiny Clash. The tail really doesn't really serve a purpose. On the Jakko, it just looks cool and adds a bit of body and profile to the bait. Oh, shivers. Oh, man, that was a good hit. There we go. There's the one we wanted. So being such a versatile bait and also a different bait, I think places like the Bidgie, the Murray, you know, I don't really fish down those ways, but You see so many guys down there fishing big paddlers all the time. And I really reckon guys that start to throw something a little bit different, like these jokers or any other top water for that matter, you know, a point of difference can be really key when you're trying to fool Murray cod that are pressured, and especially big fish. So I'm really looking forward to, seeing, you know, there's more and more people getting their hands on these baits now. And obviously that means they're going to be fished in different places, and places have got a lot of pressure like the Murray. So I know if I was going down to do a Murray trip, which I would love to do and am planning on doing eventually, and it was a top water mission, this is the first bait, and it might be the only bait I throw down there. Obviously, you know, a lot of people fish the paddlers down there because they sit on top of the water and create a lot of commotion, and that's what these do. They're not as subtle as your standard wake bait. Your standard wake baits, like, what do we got here? Like a style like that are a lot more subtle. These move water like a paddler, but are a wake bait. So look a bit different, but fish similar to a paddler. The hookup rate is really good. I often find paddlers, the hookup rate isn't great on them. Surface fishing is surface fishing. The hookup rate's never going to be as good on the surface as it's going to be sub. But I do find the hookup rate really good on these. I think it's got something to do with the bib design. I don't like the bibs, a lot of the bibs that paddlers have, I find that the mouth of the Murray cod when they come up hits the bib and doesn't seem to catch hooks because the bib gets in the way. Whereas with the joker, the bib doesn't seem to be getting in the way. If you wanted to add an extra split ring, you could to get that front treble down. But all in all, my hookup rate on these has been really good considering it's a top water bait.
He couldn't even buff it, he's that small. And he's got both hooks.
Oh, boil. Yep. Nice, bro. It's a good fish on the joker.
No, that's not a very good cut.
He'd be 50 something. Oh, yep. Oh,
that's awesome.
And now it gets even better. DRT over in Japan have recently released the tiny joker. So it's a smaller version of the original joker, basically about half the size. It's about 3.6 inch without a tail. You can add a tail in there if you want to. And it's about 1.5 ounce. So it's going to be a great bait for your skinnier water cod. It's definitely going to catch a lot of small cod. It'll catch big cod as well, but it definitely, for those smaller creek systems and summer fisheries, unreal for cod, but also bass. I'm really looking forward to using this for bass. I only got my hands on one the other day from Bait Religion, but I think when I'm up chasing bass start of next year, I'm going to be definitely throwing this as a bigger top water profile for bass. But also I've got a few small creeks around here that I fish, and it will be really handy for dropping into those creeks for the Murray cod. Now, the tiny joker and the jokers, as I said, you can get them on Bait Religion. There's stock at the moment, as I believe, as well as all your tails and spare bibs and all that stuff. You can get it from Bait Religion. Really handy having Bait Religion these days. You know, a couple of years ago when I started getting into all this DRT stuff, I was importing from America and Japan. It was costing me an arm and a leg and a kidney. But that's what I did to get into it. But now for all you guys, it's a lot more accessible with Bait Religion bringing the stuff in and selling it at really reasonable prices, considering what you'd have to pay if you were going to import it. So if you do want to check out any DRT stuff, check out the Bait Religion website. I will leave a link down below so you can go straight there. So I'm going to give this one away. This is a Rattle-In Joker 256 colour. It's been cast a couple of times, but it's basically brand new. Now these are, as I said, my favourite lure for Murray cod at the moment. If you want to win this one, all you got to do is drop a comment below on what your favourite lure for Murray cod is. If you don't fish for Murray cod or you haven't fished for Murray cod, just tell me what your favourite lure is. It doesn't matter what species, just tell me what your favourite lure is. But if you are a Murray cod guy or girl, chuck in the comments what your favourite lure is, and it's just going to be a random draw. So a comment at random will be picked. And yeah, in a week's time, I'll put up a notification on my YouTube and Instagram for who the winner is of this boat. Anyway, guys, that is gonna wrap this video up. As I said, getting very close to the start of cod season. I will have a couple more videos coming up over the next week, just to get everyone pumped up and keen. I know I'm bloody keen now. You know, the first few months of close season, September, October, I don't really think about the cod too much. I've been doing a lot of other fishing, saltwater fishing and floodie fishing, but get that second half of November and I am bloody itchy. So I can't wait to get out there and have a scratch, you know. Everywhere around the state is looking pretty good. Long range forecast looks all right. All the rivers, like my river here is nice, and all the rivers around here are nice and healthy, super clear. So I think it should be a really good open. Those first few weeks should be really good fishing. The last few years have been pretty tough. The last few years we've had rain that's basically ruined the open for me around here in a lot of the state. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have any significant rain events leading up to this year. But yeah, it's looking good. Really looking forward to it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. I know it's just talking about one lure, but just getting the wheels rolling coming into cod season. I'll have a few more videos coming up. So cheers for that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Yep.